Namaste friends and welcome. My name is Agnes Idziamko. I'm a musician by day and a yarnoholic by night. And here in this channel I'm sharing my journey in two of these worlds of mine. So this is the third part of this series, what I've made last year. If you haven't seen the first two parts, I will link them here, check them out. I counted that last year I've made about 30 projects, so the first and second part are first 20 of them. And today we will go through the last third of this bunch. So without further ado, let's get started. In this project parade, I tried to remember and mention the pattern, if there is one, that I've used to make it, the yarn and the tools that I've used. So the first one in this part is this bigger one. It's a cardigan for my husband that I made for his birthday. I followed a pattern that's called Countryside Cardigan by Colorado Shire. I found this on Etsy. There are a lot of beautiful designs and patterns from this creator. All in all, this project turned out very nice. I was very happy with it, and my husband also was quite happy with it. This was quite a long project, but if you will ask, did I like this pattern? I would say no, because I like to be very precise with instructions, and there were no sizes mentioned in this pattern. For example, there were three garment sizes mentioned: small, medium and large, but there were no measurements that described what size actually these sizes were. So once again, it was improvisation, trial and error, lots of try-ons, like all the time, trying on. Of course, if you have your own head on your shoulders, you will manage to execute it. All in all, I'm grateful for this pattern, also because I learned again a new construction way, how to make a cardigan, how to crochet cardigan, how to construct the parts of it, and some new stitches. It was an exciting project. I used very much yarn. I used these little cakes. This is Italian alpaca blend, and guess how many of these I used? Well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50. I used actually 18 of these yarn cakes, and the total weight of this cardigan is 2.55 kilograms. So it's for a man. It's very warm, and since it's a woolen and it's dense and thick because of the crocheting technique, it feels almost like a coat. So all in all, I'm very happy with this project. Do I suggest this pattern for others? I'm not sure. If you're creative and you don't mind figuring things out on your own, then yes, I would recommend it. But if you like to follow strictly the pattern and hope that it will turn out the right size, I don't think this is a good choice for you. Next one is the one I call the tour sweater, because behind this project there is also a story. I started to make it, to knit it, when we went on the Christmas tour with the band Trian Sparks. As I mentioned, I'm a musician by day, and this is the sweater that I knitted only while on my way from one performance place to another. This is my own design. I didn't follow any patterns. I used the techniques that I've learned all the last year. I used my favorite 12mm circular knitting needles. In the previous part of these, what I've made in last year videos, I showed you this Nordic dress pattern by Vitra Design that attracted me with this little detail in the middle of neckline. So I used it here on this sweater also. I think this is a very nice element. Gives you this neat centered look, and also reminds me of medieval designs. I don't know why. Yes, I really love this detail. The sweater has quite wide sleeves, and then they narrow at the end. I've used some pure wool yarn here. They are local producers called Pāces Vilna. And actually this is my first like 100% woolen sweater, and I was a little bit afraid that it will be scratchy because I have sensitive skin and I'm very sensitive to these materials. But to my surprise, it was a very pleasant, it is very pleasant wear, and I'm wearing it like really almost every day this year. And in fact this woolen scratch or this woolen touch for your skin is very healthy because it improves the microcirculation of the blood, and yes, it's good for your skin. This is actually my favorite sweater this year. I'm wearing it almost every day. Next one is another winter project that I made in November, December, and this one's again from Petite Knit. The pattern is linked in the description box, and I made it out of Latvian wool. This is different Latvian wool called Klipan Saule, held together with silk mohair strand. Here one interesting moment is that the silk mohair yarn was changing color. That's why these mittens has a little bit different shade. But I predicted this, and it's totally okay with me because I like mismatching things and mismatching shades. So one of them is a little bit warmer color and the other is like in a cooler shade. I really enjoyed making these mittens. So the feel of them is very pleasant, and they are soft and thick and warm. And they're thick because you're knitting with 2 colors or more. Actually in the pattern there's more colors, and these inner strands are making another layer inside the mitten. Of course I made my own modifications as usual. I made the mitten longer than the pattern calls. So yes, because I'm always very cold, and I really like that my sleeves are long and I can hide my wrists in my sleeves. And the same with this mitten. I really love that there is double layering on my wrists, and it's even warmer. I definitely suggest this pattern to you. This was the first multicolored project that I've made. So that's why I choose only to make in 2 colors, not like in the pattern there were like 4. So yes, I thought it would be easier, and it was. Also there were some fresh techniques that I've learned when making the socks. For example, there were this magic cast. Oh no! With the socks it was magic cast on, but here it was magic cast off in the tip of the fingers. Yes, I really want to make them, more of them for each and every member of my family. There were also a little bit struggles in the beginning, as always with the new and untried projects. As often I didn't choose the suggested yarn, I chose just something that I wanted. It was local, natural yarn. So I had some struggle with choosing the right size, and at the beginning I chose the size S, and then I guess I went up to M medium. But yes, in the end they are perfect for me. And the needles I used were 3, 3.5 and 4 millimeter circular needles with a long cord, 100 centimeters. And like with socks, mittens you can knit with the double pointed 4 needles, or with these circular needles with the magic loop technique. Sometimes I ask myself whether I like crocheting or knitting best, and sometimes I answer that I like crocheting better because I think it's more creative. For example, these next things I've made, this is a part of the household objects. For example, next one, this basket. I tried something new here. I tried to make t-shirt yarn, DIY t-shirt yarn. There is a tutorial that I've linked down in the description box, how you can make your own t-shirt yarn, upcycling your old and worn out t-shirts. This was so exciting. I made it very fast. YouTube is full of tutorials how to make crocheted baskets. I don't remember exactly which one I watched while doing this one, but I linked the most similar to this one. And I really like this basket. It's sturdy and it's beautiful and it's upcycled, what's important. Yes, I want to make hundreds of these. The next one is the coaster section, and again it's crocheted projects. At that time I wanted to make coasters for my friend who had just moved in to her new apartment and needed this thing, but I haven't done them yet for her. I'm still experimenting and finding the right way, so I tried a lot of different things. I tried to explore how to make the perfect circle, and this was example of the perfect circle, but it looks like a snail a little bit. And this was a circle in a different technique, but if you take a look closer, you can see that there is a little bit this hexagonal shape. Then I kind of like this hexagonal shape and I wanted to push it further, so I found a version of really hexagonal coaster, and I think this one is the favorite. It's decorative, yet it doesn't look like a granny design. It's quite contemporary for my taste, for my liking. And in this, for example, I learned how to do this picot. I'm not sure how it pronounces. I think that's something from French. These picot little elements at the edge. So yes, this was just pure playfulness. So I still want to make a set for my friend. I hope that time will come. Oh, the next one is fingerless mesh gloves. I don't remember if you saw them in the first part of these videos, but they are also part of this first look that I showed in the first video. So these fingerless mesh fairy gloves, there is a tutorial that I followed, a really easy tutorial that I suggest you to try. And yes, this is a very fast and easy project. It's from creator Katya Creates, and the video is linked down below. It's a free tutorial. These are from wool that I made with 3.5 millimeter hook, and also there are another, and these other mesh mittens I've made from this cotton yarn that's called Yarn Art Flowers, and this was shade Moonflower. And I just fell in love with this yarn once again, and it's ombre shade. It means it's changing shade throughout, changing color. So there's more pieces that I've made out of this yarn. And here again, this was a part of my performance outfit. It was for content for my socials. And it was a set that included this fringy top and and these gloves and barefoot sandals that I will show you in a minute. So this fringy top, here you can see the ombre color change. There's also this beautiful metallic thread that goes all the way through these colors. And there is a free tutorial available for this design. I really want to repeat this, but in different kind of piece of design. Maybe some skirt, or maybe actually I'm working on a jacket with this fringy elements. So this was the same yarn art flowers yarn, and it was made like making the base of the top like a mesh, and afterwards attaching these fringes piece by piece until it makes this fur-like effect. So as you can see, this was a crocheting phase of the last summer, and the next one in the line is barefoot sandals. And that's the moment when I discovered this beautiful designer. These cosmic geometrical designs just blew me away. I found her in Etsy and then explored her Instagram, and oh my gosh, totally suggest trying these patterns if you like crocheting, if you like fairies, and if you like summer parties. Well, I live in Latvia. We have very short summers, but this is the perfect outfit for a summer festival. Despite that this construction looks quite complicated, in the pattern it's broken down in really easy steps. So yes, if you want to learn something new, totally suggest. Then I tried another one of the same creator designs. It's called Cosmic Diamond Top. This piece is so beautiful, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make the perfect fit of it. Although I made the smallest size and the smallest option of the pattern, still it went out a little bit baggy for my shape. Yes, but it's so beautiful. Despite that, I really enjoyed the making of it, and I learned how to make the breast cups, and I really want to try more of these Kate Crochet Couture designs. I'm still hoping I'm gonna figure out how to wear this, either with some kind of under top maybe, or yes, I'm gonna figure out because I love this top. And once again, it's made with the yarn I mentioned previously, the yarn art flower in the shade of moonflower, and you can see that there were a lot of shades that were changing during this yarn cake. And the next project is Mist Jumper from Moreka Knit. I made this one a present for my mom, and oh boy, this was a struggle for me. This was the most complicated project for me because there were this one technique involved that called German short rows, or it was just short rows. Yes, there is this thing about short rows. There are many kinds of short rows, and the most popular, I think, it's German short rows. The story with this one was that I really loved this look, and I think before this I had chosen another one, mohair sweater, and something stopped me from doing that first one pattern because there were involved some kind of technique that I didn't understand. And I found this mist jumper. I just fell in love with the look of it. As I've mentioned, I'm very spontaneous, and I just bought it and thought, oh, what's the possibility that this pattern will also include some kind of techniques that I don't know? Well, I have to mention that I have this mindset that if I don't know something, I don't know it yet, so I can learn everything. And I bought this pattern not even looking through all these steps, how it's made. and what's expecting me there. So I just ordered the mohair, the yarn, and I made it with knitting for olive mohair, and I just started, and then the struggle started when I met the short rows. So what are short rows? That's technique that makes spherical shaping, and usually it's used when you shape the shoulders of a sweater or the heel of a sock. So yes, I had a struggle there, the real struggle. I frogged it, meaning unraveled it many times till I learned the idea of the short rows, and till I was able to do it and it looked beautiful. Well, acceptable, not beautiful. I managed to finish it in time and gave it to my mom, and of course she was very happy, and she is wearing it regularly. Will I do it again? I don't think so. I think this is the only project that I don't want to repeat. Although since then I've made some socks. In those socks I've developed my skills in these short rows, and I have found some tips on how to execute them. So maybe because the look of this sweater is very nice, and the look of it, I like it, but yes, the process was a mess. Ooh, and the last one in this section is my socks. So I could say that these are the first socks that I made, but they are not like technically the first, because I remember doing some socks in childhood. So I used this woolen blend yarn, and I thought that I'm making socks for myself. And I followed this one pattern that I've linked down in the description box. These socks were made from the toe up. I think the more popular way is to make socks from the top down, but since I wasn't sure how long I want these socks, so I started from the tip of the toes. And at the beginning it was not easy. The first sock wasn't easy. It was very concentration consuming, and yes, this was not the easy knitting project. I used needles 3.5 millimeters. I used circular needles with the magic loop technique. The other way is to use double pointed needles, like 4 of them, and then you hold them in a circle. I suggest this tutorial because this Norman from Nimble Needles is explaining really neatly everything, and this guy really has the knowledge and experience, and he is not just plainly saying you what to do, but he's telling everything behind these calculations and why you should do things exactly that way. So I knew that I want to make knee-high socks, but I didn't know the exact height of them. Also, I was making some shaping here, like here is the heel, and then I made some increases here, and if you carefully look, you can see that there is this tree-like pattern there that comes out when you make increases on both sides. Well, from this project I learned that you have to make your sock quite well-fitting, like quite tight-fitting, because the knitted garments, they grow a bit when you wear them. So my conclusion was that this sock, actually, these socks are not for me, but they're for my husband. Ah, yes, they were too big for me. Actually, you can see that he has worn them, and worn them very well. That well that there are few holes already. So yes, I have to figure out the next step, how to fix your knitting, because I'm a person who likes to fix things, not throw away and buy a new one. So this was the last project of the 2024. If you didn't see the first two parts, then check them out there. I will link them. I hope this video inspired at least one person to make something out of yarn or something with your own hands. If you don't want to miss more videos about yarn art and my knitting and crocheting journey, don't forget to press that subscribe button and the notification bell. And also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.